my subscribers made a comment about my using Spanish moss, for my wadding in this old flintlock. It got me to thinking, remembering back when I was a kid, back in the late 50s, early 60s, used to sit out on the porch with my grandma in the swing. And she'd tell me stories about growing up in the 1800s when she, was a little girl and what it was like and how things had changed. And we was out there one day and she looked out there across the yard and she says, "Man, I got to find somebody to come pull this moss out of my trees before they choke them down." And, I'm like, "Well, Grandma, why you got to take the moss out?" She says, "Well, it grows too thick and, it'll choke the tree down because it's a pest to it." And she commits to telling me that when they first came out there, right after the turn of the century, the early 1900s, that people used to come around and they would buy your moss. She says, "Yeah," she says, "man, they give you 10, 15 cents for a whole wagon load." And then they would get up there and send the kids up the trees like a bunch of monkeys. They'd pull that moss out, and the old man, he'd be on the ground, putting it in the trailer or in the truck, whatever he had. And then they'd take it and sell it. And she's telling me that just like my buddy did on that post, that they used to use it in furniture for padding, to fill them up with. Now, she didn't tell me about the bowling part, but she did tell me that you never pick up a piece of moss off the ground because that's where the bugs are. Well, that stuck in my head, and I've always done that. And I've gotten the red bugs a few times, but I think she was right about that. But I bet that would have, he was talking about Henry Ford had a bunch of it shipped up north to put in the seats of his cars. But the customers got to complaining about the bugs that was biting them. I bet that was funny. That he said that was one of the first recalls of the automobile. But yeah, that would have been funny to see. But all right, well, this old Florida cracker, and I'll tell you next time. I'll tell you how I got the moss restarted here on my place because it had died and was gone for about 20 or 30 years. Everybody thought I was crazy, but I like moss in the old oak tree. I think it's pretty. It's just part of our heritage down here. But all right, the old Florida cracker. Y'all subscribe. Keep watching. I'll see you next time.